segmentation, targeting, positioning, market research, and brand. These are key concepts for marketers. A marketer's job is to create value for customers and build meaningful relationships with them. In order to do this, they must gain deep insights into what customers really need and want, and to understand the environment. They need to first assess what information is necessary to understand the market, and then find out if it already exists or if they need to collect that information themselves. They have two options: secondary research, information that already exists somewhere, having been collected for another purpose, and primary research, information that would need to be created or collected for their needs. Secondary information could be out on the web, in reports, or found on commercial online databases. If you are looking for information on a public company, searching the company's websites and looking at annual reports or investor presentations can also be helpful. Primary research requires data collection and can be anything from surveys and observations to paying people for answering questions directly. Consumer packaged goods companies like Procter & Gamble, General Mills, or Unilever, for example, often employ the process of ethnographic research, going to the place where consumers are engaging in some activity and observing them or interacting with them for hours in search of a modification to an existing product or to come up with a totally new product. What if there is no public information on what you are looking for and you can't buy any information on a market? Then you will have to create your own study, or you can try to be creative and combine information from a number of areas and come up with good, educated assumptions on the market. Here is an example. What is the market for corrective shoes for Mongolian children who were born with walking defects, assuming no statistics are available for children born with walking defects in Mongolia? How would you get this information? There are certainly a number of ways. One might be able to find out the number of children born in the past 5 years, and then find some statistics on the number of adults with walking defects compared to the total population, and take a percent of the adult numbers to the percentage of the number of children born in Mongolia, and you might get a plausible number. This process is called triangulation, which is also a navigational term. Triangulation is a powerful technique that facilitates validation of data through cross-verification from 2 or more sources. In particular, it refers to the application and combination of several research methods in the study of the same phenomenon. This graphic shows the number of research methods to get closer to finding the required information. Market research is any organized effort to gather information about your target markets or customers, and it is a very important component of business strategy. As you narrow down your data to hone in on the real area of study you are looking for, the process is like a funnel, going from large data and drawing down the assumptions to the best data available which characterizes the target market. And you can divide research into 2 types of data: qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative research is primarily exploratory research. It is used to gain an understanding of underlying reasons, opinions, and motivations. It provides insights into the problem or helps to develop areas or hypotheses for potential quantitative research. Qualitative research is also used to uncover trends in thoughts and opinions and dive deeper into the problem. Qualitative data collection methods vary using unstructured or semi-structured techniques. Some common methods include focus groups, group discussions, individual interviews, and participation or observations. The sample size is typically small, and respondents are selected to fulfill a given quota. Quantitative research is used to quantify the problem by way of generating numerical data or data that can be transformed into usable statistics. It is used to quantify attitudes, opinions, behaviors, and other defined variables, and generalize results from a larger sample population. Quantitative research uses measurable data to formulate facts and uncover patterns in research. Quantitative data collection methods are much more structured than qualitative data collection methods. Quantitative data collection methods include various forms of surveys, online surveys, paper surveys, mobile surveys, and kiosk surveys, face-to-face interviews, telephone interviews, longitudinal studies, website interceptors, online polls, and systematic observations. Once the market has been researched, it is important to break down that market into distinct groups of buyers who have the same needs, characteristics, or behaviors, and who might require separate marketing strategies or mixes. This is called segmentation. Segmentation is the process of partitioning markets into groups of potential customers with similar needs and/or characteristics who are likely to exhibit similar purchase behavior. Segmentation is the first step in target marketing. There is not a specific science or specific rules to follow to dividing up the market into segments, so the better you know the needs of the market and the more you understand the customers, the better you'll be at segmenting the market. And good business judgment is always helpful in segmentation. The goal of segmentation is to increase the precision and effectiveness of our marketing mix activities in order to attract, satisfy, and retain the target customers. Getting the right product and the right message to the right customers is called targeted segmentation. A good segmentation analysis not only helps to define attractive segments, but also defines the segments that are unattractive. The CEO of a large media company was quoted as saying, "I'll know when our businesses are doing a good job at segmentation when they can articulate who we shouldn't sell to." Segmentation is done so the business can answer a variety of questions. Some of these include, will one product meet the needs of the market? Or would the business opportunity be more attractive if we developed multiple products to suit the unique needs of individual segments? How can we most effectively communicate to our target customers? What is our message? And on what media will we communicate? Does our target segment listen to podcasts or do they read trade magazines? How do we get the most exposure for our products? Should we position our product differently with different segments in order to maximize its appeal? Or can the same key messages work for a number of the segments? It would certainly reduce costs if you could have the same key messages, but only if that is the most effective. A few other questions that should be asked are, can we prioritize our efforts by targeting the segments that have the most pressing need, are easiest or fastest to reach, are in the best position to buy, or maybe the most profitable, or that respond most favorably to our marketing mix elements? These characteristics should exemplify all your segments. They should be identifiable. They should each be distinctly different on easily identifiable measures. Substantial, large enough to matter and be served profitably. Accessible, reachable through marketing, advertising, and distribution efforts. Stable, persist over time, The market segment will be around long enough for the business to be served and become a loyal customer. Responsive. Responsive to targeted marketing efforts for success. And actionable. Differences are able to guide marketing decisions. The best product is one that satisfies a real need of the customer, not just a want. So a marketer should try to find customer segments that truly have a need for their product. Typically, when doing segmenting, it is easier and less expensive to find segments with the same characteristics such as demographics or geography or even firmographics, which are similar attributes of companies that the marketer uses to divide up their target market in order to discover their ideal consumers. Demographics include age, gender, income, occupation, religion, ethnicity, generation, education, household size, etc. Geographic segmentation includes city, state, zip code, region, population density such as urban, suburban, rural, etc. Firmographic includes account size, number of locations, number of employees, technological sophistication, etc. This does assume that the customers that have been segmented into one segment have the same need. That is the difficulty with segmenting by characteristics. Just because all large companies are put into one segment, which would be a demographic segmentation, because of their size, for example, they also need to have other attributes that would make them desire your product. Continuing on this continuum, you see that being able to segment customers into either psychographic attributes or behavioral attributes is harder and oftentimes more costly, but the payoff in sales and profits is much bigger also. Psychographic attributes are things like attitudes and beliefs, lifestyle, values, hobbies, risks, political views. Behavioral attributes are things like brand loyalty, the benefits sought, sensitivity to price, occasions of use, user status, responsiveness to the marketing mix, etc. When the need of a customer is truly understood and the way your product addresses that need is clearly articulated, you have a much greater chance of success with this customer wanting your product. As you gather more data about the segments, driving toward needs-based segmentation, chances are improved for customers being interested in your product and purchasing your product. You are providing value to them. Segmentation can take time for a new product, especially a new-to-the-world product. It is often difficult to know who will really be interested beyond your first few initial customers. Good market research is key to success. Once you have segmented your market and know who is interested in your product, then you will target those segments with a value proposition, claiming the key benefits that your product possesses will meet that segment's needs. All of your key messages and communications will come from this foundation. The messaging can be very specific, such as to individual companies, or it can be very general, such as mass marketing. Many of the soft drink companies who advertise on television are mass marketing to very large segments. For example, when Coca-Cola markets to young people, the music, colors, activities, and words are all part of getting their message across to young people. Think about a fast food company like McDonald's. Have you ever thought about how they segment their market as they appeal to a wide range of people? Here you see a few ways they do demographic segmentation. McDonald's also segment their market by income or price. Be sure to watch the video on McDonald's in this section to learn more about how McDonald's continues to segment their market.